Welcome to the party, pal. You're from the Neighborhood Master Chaos with a very special episode. This is the election special, election 2020 to be exact. Behind me, as you can see, is a polling place. The polling places have been opened all day. They are close to closing here in Los Angeles. I am on pins and needles as you are, my friend, but I'm here to help you through it as best that I can. If you're curious why the polling place behind me is fairly empty with no long lines around the block, well, don't worry. Most people in California did mail-in voting. Myself and Mistress Chaos certainly did that, and we voted weeks and weeks ago. So the good news is our vote is in. The bad news is they won't even begin to be counted until today. So we will not have any kind of definitive answer as to who won the election today. We will have sort of an idea, but mail-in votes will take a few days to be counted. You know, regardless of party lines, once someone is done voting, most people will end up here. Depending on who you voted for, champagne may be in order, or a nice red wine, Chianti perhaps. May I suggest an American bourbon? Any of these will get you good and liquored up, because you'll need it. I'm grabbing a bottle of Agitator finished in red wine barrels. Great name. This goes perfect with today's events. Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Oh yeah. 86 proof. That'll do, pig. Of course, there's a line to buy booze. You know, it's important in times like this that everyone take a moment to just take a breather, right? Enjoy the finer things in life for a second. I don't want to spill this all over my keyboard, so I'm going to be gentle. Oh, can't smell it with my beak. Wow, that is lovely. Actually, I've never had this one before. But I felt Agitator fit the mood of the day. We don't know much, not yet. And like I said, it's going to be a couple days before we know 100%, despite what any candidate says. But I thought I'd give everyone a reprieve and sort of help you clear your minds a little bit of the turmoil that is sure to come, my friend, unfortunately. And to give you my top 5 favorite political movies that are better than real life. Number 5, The Distinguished Gentleman from 1992, starring Eddie Murphy, the incomparable Eddie Murphy, here as a con man who finds his way into Congress, which is more true to life than we all want to believe it is. But we know deep down that it is. This is a great movie, really funny, great cast. Eddie, you know, at the top of his game, I think. I think he's a really funny guy. He's really wonderful in this movie. This is sort of an obscure title, one that nobody really talks about when they mention Eddie movies. But I highly recommend it if you have not seen it. I don't know if there is a way to find it nowadays. It might be too obscure to find anywhere. I'm not sure if it's on DVD anyway. Regardless of Blu-ray, I know it's not on Blu-ray, but for DVD, I don't even know. But I highly recommend you find your way towards Distinguished Gentleman. Number 4, Lincoln from 2012, directed by Steven Spielberg and starring Daniel Day-Lewis, and arguably one of his most amazing transformations. I mean, it's phenomenal. The way he talks, the way he moves. I mean, honestly, none of us have met Lincoln, so we can just assume he's doing a caricature of the Lincoln we picture in our minds, but he does a hell of a job regardless. It's a great movie, slow as it should be, because it's a political drama, not an action adventure extravaganza, but very compelling, really engrossing. And if you haven't seen it, if you've missed out on one of Steven Spielberg's most nuanced pictures. So I highly recommend Lincoln. Great movie, and certainly paints the picture of a president that we all wish we had. Number 3 is the stunning film A Face in the Crowd from 1957, which features an amazing performance by Andy Griffith. Something that if you watch the Andy Griffith show, you wouldn't realize, wow, that's the same guy from A Face in the Crowd. I mean, it's a stunning movie, very prescient and timely, especially regarding the elections currently happening and the people taking part in said election. The film is about Andy Griffith as a local yokel type of guy who's very charismatic. And he instantly builds a following, and it's a perfect example of how power corrupts anyone, even the simplest and humblest people. amazing, powerful movie, great performances overall. It is black and white, but fuck it, get over your fear of black and white. You need to see this movie. It's a beautiful movie. It will blow you away how close to reality that movie turns out to be, my friend. So highly suggest you check out A Face in the Crowd. Number 2, Dave from 1993. This is a great Ivan Reitman movie starring Kevin Kline as an imposter president with Sigourney Weaver in it as well. Really funny movie. The president is ill, and Dave basically is hired to impersonate the president. That's sort of the ballpark plot. I don't want to give too much away, but if you haven't seen Dave, it's a really funny movie, really sweet, really rewarding, sort of an unsung Ivan Reitman film, and I highly, highly suggest you check it out if you want a little, political fun, but without the reality. Check out Dave. Lastly, number 1 is the oldest film on my list, but my favorite political film of all time. That is Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, starring Jimmy Stewart from 1939. This is a beautiful mind blower of a movie. This is the kind of movie that is made by people who believe in the political process, and the American political process, I should say, and democracy as a whole. Frank Capra, you can tell, really loves America, really believes in justice. And Jimmy embodies that perfectly. Great movie. I'm sure you've seen it. If you haven't, please do yourself a favor and watch it. Especially nowadays, I think it put a smile on your face. Or it might make you more depressed, seeing how things have turned out in the world at large. But anyway, I hope those have given you sort of an idea of what to sort of turn to. If you want a little political intrigue in your life, but you don't want a lot of the drama, then turn to those 5 films. I think you'll enjoy yourself highly. Oh, incidentally, before I let you go, Agitator is amazing. I really taste the red wine in there. It's very sweet, very drinkable. Highly recommend it. Kentucky straight bourbon. Mwah! Kind of hard to kiss when you have a beak. I'll have to get used to that. Anyway, my friend, I hope you enjoyed this little political special. I wish you the best. I hope you voted. I hope the world isn't over by tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Just remember, Master Chaos will always be here. Master Chaos loves you. And please take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you do, you'll see me tomorrow. Master Chaos comes at you daily with varied content, mostly about movies, Hollywood, things like that. But every once in a while, I'll bring you the news as best as I can, the way I can report it. It'll usually involve whiskey, of course. Anyway, my friend, please take care. I love you. Please stay safe out there. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, or the next day, or 2021 for that matter.